dreams, you'd want a car unlike any other. One that combined the responsiveness of an extreme sports car with the everyday comfort of a family car. But there isn't one. There are two, a sedan and an estate from Volvo. The new Volvo S60R and V70R are unique, intelligent, all-wheel drive cars with very advanced chassis technologies. Select Comfort Mode and the low damping provides smooth, gentle body movements and high ride comfort. The car is effectively isolated from road disturbances as if it were suspended from wires in the sky. The Sport Mode has been created for more active driving on normal roads, with a dynamic combination of sportiness and comfort. In the Advanced Sport Mode, the very hard damping ensures maximum road contact. It turns into a pure racing car. Underlying this multi-role capability is Volvo's 4C system, the continuously controlled chassis concept. It's a system that registers the car's movements 500 times per second. This is done by a variety of sensors. 3 accelerometers continuously measure the angle and movement of the car body. Sensors in the wheel suspensions sense the road surface conditions. And a sensor in the steering wheel continuously senses the driver's intentions. Using this information, the shock absorbers are individually adjusted extremely quickly and precisely. At the same time, the electronically controlled hydraulic coupling distributes engine power between the front and rear wheels according to the driving situation. And that power comes from Volvo's 5-cylinder turbo engine with true sports car performance. Taking off, for example, more power is transferred to the rear wheels, and the rear shock absorbers are adjusted to a harder setting to prevent the back of the car from squatting. When it comes to cornering, power is distributed to provide maximum driving stability. When you enter a corner, more power is transferred to the rear wheels for a slight oversteer and a fast steering response. The 4C system continuously adjusts the shock absorbers to balance over and under steering. Once in the corner, the shock absorbers adjust for minimum roll. The traction power is distributed to provide stability and a neutral steering response, according to the continuously changing side forces. Leaving the corner, the torque to the rear wheels is reduced. Now, a slight understeer gives the best possible directional stability. For such high-performance cars, the braking system has also been specially adapted. The brakes have 4-piston Brembo calipers made of aluminium, with double pistons on each side, providing brake performance that is more even as well as highly effective. These remarkable cars combine a sports car performance engine, Volvo's intelligent all-wheel drive, and the unique 4C technology. The new Volvo S60R and V70R are ready for you. Are you ready for them?
Dear friends and car freaks, this is a big moment. The Volvo performance concept cars have now been further developed into real driving machines. The S60R and the V70R offers unique performance and a true pleasure to drive. And they are loaded with advanced technology. The R design is unique to emphasize the dynamic appearance. The chassis is lowered, the wheels are new and specially designed to host the very big Brembo brakes. The front end is somewhat longer and rounded. The grille is lowered positioned and has a frame of matte silver, matching up with the frame around the headlamps. The spoiler openings are lowered and enlarged to give more cooling air to the engine and to the two intercoolers. The new R engine delivers 300 brake horsepower and 400 Newton meter. It is a 2.5 liter 5-cylinder engine. The increased cylinder volume, the new bigger turbo and the double variable camshafts are some of the reasons behind the increased power. Maximum torque is reached already at 2,100 RPMs. That gives a good acceleration and response at all speeds. We have two gearbox alternatives, a 6-speed manual or a 5-speed automatic with Geartronic and Sport Comfort mood selector. The active performance chassis supports you all the time. When you are starting or accelerating, the car becomes more rear-wheel driven and the shock absorbers in the rear end close up so the car don't pitch. When driving straight ahead at constant speed, the car is mostly front-wheel driven and understeered. It's stable that way. When you come into a corner, the car becomes more rear-wheel driven and oversteered, so it helps you turn into the corner. While in the corner, the system are balancing over and understeering and roll. When you are going out of the corner, the car becomes front-wheel driven and understeered, so it stabilizes itself. When you come to a braking situation, we disconnect the rear wheels and close up the front shock absorbers to prevent the car from pitching. And by that, we can shorten the braking distance. This is the behavior that the car has all the time. But on top of that, you can select 3 different chassis settings: Sport, Comfort, or Advanced Sport. Sport setting is what is normal for this type of car, quite firm and roll stiff. But if you come to a road with bad road conditions, much disturbances or low friction, snow, ice or wet surface, it's better to choose the Comfort setting. It's softer, allows the car to roll more, and you have better road contact. If you prefer to go on a racetrack or on a really good winding road, you should select the Advanced Sport to have a really firm chassis setting. The rear spoiler is standard on the S60R. It's not big, but it balances out the modifications we have done with the front spoiler. It increases the high-speed stability and actually reduces the rear end lift by 25%. The exhaust system on the R is double, and what you see here is just the end pipes. The interior in the R is very special. The seats are deeply contoured to give a good side support, both on the backrest and on the seat cushion. The leather material is a natural leather. It's unpainted, and you see the natural grain of the leather, and it will age with beauty. The rim of the steering wheel have an oval cross-section and a pronounced thumb support for better grip. Both the rim and the airbag unit are finished in leather and have a blue accent stitching. The instrument dials are in metal and finished in blue. The visor over the instrument is in leather with the same type of blue stitchings as on the steering wheel. The door trim details are in brushed aluminum. And if you're a family man like myself, you should know there is a V70R as well, with the extra level of versatility. And it still has the same handling and performance characteristics as an S60R. I really hope that you get the chance to test drive this car yourself, and I'm sure you will feel the same excitement as I did.
Now that's pretty impressive. But the problem with any sports saloon is that there's always a trade-off, because you need stiff suspension for this sort of high-speed track work. When you go to public roads, you have poor ride quality. They're not very comfortable to sit in for long periods. And this is where the 4C technology starts, because with this new Volvo S60R, I've got 3 different active chassis settings. I've got the Advanced, which I've just been in now, which gives very stiff suspension for that maximum gripping corners. I've also got a happy medium, a sport setting, and a comfort setting. Now on the track, there is a bit too much roll. The chassis is not controlled as much as I would like it to be. But when you go to public roads, you've got a wonderful, smooth, comfortable ride. Let me show you a little demonstration to prove the point. One of the great things about coming to this Volvo test track is that they've got all sorts of roads for different types of tests. They've got different road surfaces as well, and some really nasty ribbed ones to test suspension to their ultimate capabilities. So with the help of the Volvo test track and a little glass of water, I'm going to demonstrate to you just how good this 4C technology is, starting of course with the comfort setting. So 50 kilometers an hour, we'll just hold the water there on the console and see what happens. Not a drop spilt. Now we'll switch to Advanced and see the difference. I think that demonstrated it quite well, don't you? So you see, with this new Volvo, you can now have a car in which you can take your fragile grandmother to visit her friends in maximum gentle comfort, and then, at the flick of a switch, give yourself a sporting drive home. But to fully understand how this new 4C technology really works with its continually controlled chassis concept, we need to keep it in Advanced, switch off the DSTC, and give this chassis a really good workout. With 5 sensors, one on each wheel and one on the steering wheel, taking readings 500 times a second, the shock absorbers are being adjusted all the time in order to optimize the chassis performance, whatever it's doing. Accelerate hard and the rear shock absorbers instantly get stiffer. It stops the car squatting and sitting down at the back. When this is allied to the Haldex electronically controlled all-wheel drive system, you get maximum acceleration. And to match that, race-bred Brembo brakes have been added as well. And again, the 4C technology helps out, because this time it stiffens up the front shock absorbers so the car doesn't dive under heavy braking and lift the rear wheels up off the road. And with this S60R and its extra 50 horsepower, you get to 100 kilometers an hour almost a second quicker than the T5. But now the best bit, cornering. It may be beginning to spit with rain, but that's not going to dampen my enthusiasm. And here this 4C technology is with you every inch of the way, helping to balance the car as you head into the corners. In fact, as you turn into a corner, it's the rear end that gets stiffened slightly. It gives the car a hint of oversteer at the back to help the front turn in. And then towards the end of the corner, it's the front that begins to stiffen up. It gives the car a little bit of understeer. And this test track is one of the roughest and bumpiest I've ever been on. And yet the poor old shock absorbers are working overtime to help me out. And it really is amazing what they do. We've got our tight little chicane now. Braking again, you see how flat the car brakes, it doesn't dive, and I can turn in and one way and the other, and a little hinge of all. We got the back out there ready because I threw it both ways, but all the time the shock absorbers are adjusting. Now this is, I'm cornering at what, 140 kilometers an hour. It holds its line. There's no pushing wide, none of that understeer that you'd expect. This is fun motoring. A little 360 spin, perhaps. All-wheel drive, all-wheel fun.